Hello and welcome back to another episode of the BDB podcast. With me, I have literally what I would say is the mentor of mentors, someone who I look up to, not just because of what you've accomplished, but how you've accomplished it, doing it online and offline, traditional and new school, man. So welcome Grant Cardone to the show, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so first off, I want to just honor the fact that you've been able to do that. The fact that you've been able to not only go with new school business, I've seen you speak on stages, I see you selling info products, I see you crushing people in that area, which is one thing. There's a lot of people out there that are good at online marketing. You've met a lot of them. Yet they don't do traditional style when it comes to investing, and then also speaking as well, and you kind of have this whole package and you're dominating everyone and everything.
Yeah, thank you, man. A lot of people don't recognize like how many different little, I was doing an interview yesterday, and the guy's like, well, tell me about this thing. And I'm like, well, dude, that's not the only thing I do. Like I don't know why you keep going back to this thing. It's because that's his space, and he doesn't see all the other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And he's a little sketchy anyway, so.
What do you mean sketchy?
Well, sketchy people can't see everything. I've learned this in my own life and with other people. Like, people that take shortcuts can't see very well. And like you can see everything I'm doing. You see the e-commerce, you see the traditional, you see the sales calls that we make, you see what I'm doing on social, you see the real estate plays, you see everything I'm doing. So another person could study everything that I'm doing and not see everything I'm doing because they're sketchy.
And they're like stuck right here.
They're criminals. They're taking shortcuts, and they're looking for shortcuts, and all they see is shortcuts. They can't see everything. So the more honest a person is, the more they can see, and the less honest a person is, the less they can see. It's why a thief robs a house and steals less than he could have made just servicing the same exact house.
Right.
The guy would have given more money to like take care of him if he could see. Instead, he saw a watch and took the watch.
How often do you see this with your Instagram followers, the people that DM you, the people that email you? They're just thinking right here, and I think even what you're saying is self-sabotage. Like they're sabotaging themselves because they can't see further.
I see it a lot with interviewers.
Really?
Yeah, because I get to know the interviewer now, right? I get to meet them as opposed to the Instagram person. I don't get to see them.
What do you see in the interviewer?
Well, like I'm saying, like like where is that person coming from, right? What are they doing? Like, are they still learning, or are they just trying to get an interview done? Like, or they have an agenda to doing an interview to me is one of the hardest things a person could do. Like, I hate being the interviewer. I'd much rather be the interviewed, because you got to stay interested. You got an agenda you actually want to go over, but what if it doesn't go that way, and it goes a different way, like it is right now probably already, right? So, and a lot of people can't flow. Like, they get stuck. They get stuck on this agenda they had rather than really being there. So it's a difficult thing, So.
Well, you've been on so many shows that are just agenda-based, though. Hey, Grant, how'd you grow up? You grew up in this area, and you have a twin brother, and you go here. And so even for me,
Tell me about your upbringing.
My guys want to be a fly on the wall, and that's what I hope they're being right now, is that I'm interested in what you have going on, and I have a few things that I want to glean from the interview. So hopefully you're getting something from it, but I don't really care because this is my time to buy some of this, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, no, if you benefit, they will.
Yeah. So when it comes to the things that you've done, I want to know, you could have easily made enough money to live the lifestyle that you want without gaining influence. A lot of times I see that fame is looked down as someone who just wants their ego stroked. They just want attention. They want to be seen as something. And I truly think that influence over fame, though, is the ability to change someone's life and also make more money. I look at the businesses that have been popping up. Facebook, you think of Mark, right? You think of Amazon, you think of the CEO. And so with you, what was the reason why you started to go into this influence game as well and put yourself out there to build a following? What was your mindset behind that?
Well, I really wasn't thinking about building a following then. I was thinking about, I needed customers. like this wasn't some grand plan. Like I'm the most transparent person out there. Like, I wanted customers. I have a big product lineup of things that I know have helped me and that when used that way help other people. So I use Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter to get customers. There's no other reason for me to be there. Like, if you see me on any of those platforms, I have one goal: to make you my customer.
It's the best thing for the
customer. Or
customer.
to make you my partner.
Yeah.
Or to collaborate with and do business with you. I have no other reason or purpose to be on any of these mechanisms.
And so many people would hear that, though, and think, man, this guy's on there for his own selfish reasons. Truly, at the end of the day, the best thing for the customer is to buy your stuff.
Yeah, I'm on there. Well, I'm on there. Well, if they don't buy my stuff, I can't get better. So I can't take care of my family. I can't take care of myself. I can't take care of my brand. I can't expand. The most unselfish thing a person could do is expand.
Do you think it's selfish to build a following?
No, you have to build a following. You need to build a following, right? But that should just come. That should happen. Like, if the content's good, if you're consistent, if you're frequent, if you're there, if you keep delivering, the following's going to happen. It's probably not going to happen as fast as you want it to. And then you got to figure out, is it the following you want? You know, so Floyd Mayweather's got 22 million people follow him, but is it any good? Like I don't know what it does with him. Like, does it do business with him? Does it transact with him? I know guys with big followings. But there's nothing happens as a result of the following.
So you on the is Floyd rich or is Floyd broke? Which side?
I don't know. I think Floyd ends up broke.
Ends up broke
if he doesn't. It's not a Floyd thing. It's not a Floyd thing. It's an asset thing. If you don't end up in assets, you end up broke.
Yeah.
So because you can't keep fighting forever.
So if Floyd was watching right now, what would you say to him?
Floyd, you need to spend as much time working on your investments as you do in Neiman Marcus or the Gucci store, the Fendi store. Like,
he could just invest with you, though, right?
He could invest to Cardone Capital. I would ensure that he's a billionaire.
Wow.
Like, you cannot become a billionaire without assets. Assets that produce cash flow. Amazon, Facebook, these are asset plays. These are internet real estate plays. The real estate's happening in the internet now. So I need places for people to go, right? So Starbucks is a real estate play. McDonald's is a real estate play. It wasn't a hamburger play. And I need places for people to go and do transactions to transact. So Facebook's that, Instagram's that, Netflix is that. And these all produce cash flow. Now, I can't go create Facebook because I don't have the intelligence to do that. I can't do that thing. But what I can do is I can go buy 300 units. That's a simple business. It's not complicated. There's no technology. There's nothing to produce. I can go buy a great location, 300 units, make sure it's rented full. We take care of the tenants. It cash flows. And then we distribute back to our investors.
And
that's what Floyd would do. Floyd would take whatever money he's got. And we would basically, my recommendation to Floyd is, Floyd, do not be liquid. You do not want liquidity. Never show a king bed of cash again. Okay, it makes you look stupid. Okay, what would be smart is if you show somebody 38 acres of real estate that produces cash every month, and say, look, I own that, and I own this one over here, and I own that one. I met him just 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's like, I got some penthouses. I said, no, you got this much of a penthouse. I own the whole place. That's the difference. Call me when you're serious. Enjoy Neiman Marcus.
Yeah. So when it comes to some of the newer entrepreneurs, I see that you were talking about sticking with the things that you're really good at, that you're not great at building a Facebook, but these things have had to invest in.
Well, no, I'm saying I can't build the technology to build the next social medium, right? I'm not the guy that's going to go build some. I'm not Elon Musk. I don't have this technology intelligence. But if I want to create wealth, what I can do is I can simply buy a piece of real estate. I was just making an example of I'm not that smart guy.
Yeah. But when you were getting started out, there was probably less options. Even when I lost weight, I talked about I had 60 pounds to lose. I didn't have a Facebook ad hitting me. I didn't have a friend who wanted to train me. I saw one kid eat fruit, and I said, he's pretty fit. So I ate fruit only for 6 months and lost the 60 pounds. I had no clue what else to do.
Wow.
Now I see people that see social media marketing, they see e-com, they see all the things that you've accomplished. They want to do all of it at the same time or whatever. They don't know really what to go all in on. If you were to kind of get back into the shoes of now with all these options, how would you discover what to go all in on with so much opportunity now compared to back in the day?
I would say that those things are just they're just the things of today. That's not the issue, right? You're like, oh, I got to go down the highway or the Instagram. Okay, that's really just a way to get someplace. You need to understand why you're going wherever you want to go. Like the issue is to make the commitment to the trip. And like you're saying, man, man, I can't believe how hard you're working today, right? You know, this is not Instagram and Facebook. It's from one room to the next room, one room to the next room. Like this is as small as you can get. I mean, the next smaller thing from this is me to call one person right now. So I was asked in an interview today, hey, if the Instagram went down, you didn't have your jet, and something else had to go down, what would you do? I said, I'd make a phone call. Because I'm not dependent upon Instagram or Facebook. I'd walk across the street and go meet somebody, one person at a time. And because people solve problems. Like, I need people. You know, why are you building a following? I need people. People make your life richer. And some people make your life poorer. But your life can't be rich by yourself. You could be the richest person. You could be the rich man in Babylon by yourself. You're going to be a poor person. Like, nobody to share it with, nobody to have fun, nobody to create memories with. So I think the thing is, like, people shouldn't be looking for mechanisms. Oh, I need to become an Instagram fan. No, dude, you're just serving Instagram. Where are you going? Why are you going there? What do you want to do when you get there? And that's kind of what I am extremely focused on where I'm going.
And how did that unfold for you? Was there ever times that you didn't really know what was coming next, but you just kept pushing? I know that for a lot of my friends, one of my friends in particular, he was selling network marketing shakes, right? Weight loss shakes. And then that taught him how to talk to people. And then he got into, his wife was a fitness competitor, and then they created their own fitness product. And now they're at 25 years old, he's doing $5 million a month.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
But it was
awesome.
He didn't know what was coming next. He just kind of kept pulling on the string of what was in front of him, an opportunity.
That's right. And so is the target money? Is it finance? Is it for him?
I think it's achievement.
Uh-huh.
He's already passed the finance so young, and he can buy whatever, and he still sees himself making that #1 weight loss company, Lady Boss, shout out.
Yeah, so, you know, but what's the score, right? Because once he gets the finances and then he becomes the #1, what's the next score?
What's the score for you then? What's like how did it level up?
Yeah, so like, you know, when you start having little victories, you know, like I see a lot of people say they learn more from failure. I don't learn more from failure. Yeah. I want to avoid failure.
It's a bad way to learn.
It's ridiculous. Like if you get married and you're like, I'm going to learn more from failing in my marriage than succeeding, like you're going to end up with a bunch of divorces here. This is not going to end pretty. You can't. Oh, I'm going to fail with my kids, and that's how I'm going to become a good parent. No, your kids are going to rehab.
Yeah.
So in real estate, if you fail in real estate too many times, you'll end up with no real estate. But all these beautiful little memes around, like, I learned more from my failures. That's Steve Jobs after he made, like, Apple has become a fucking world phenomenon. And now Steve's like, I learned more from my failures. But look where he was saying it, after the fact.
Yeah.
So people need to succeed. So for me, like, every time I get a little success, I'm like, I want to blow on it. I'm like, okay, I want to do that again. I want to repeat it. And then I repeat it. I'm like, wow, I can do that twice. I can do it 3 times. I can do it 4 times. The real estate, what happened with the real estate was I bought a piece of real estate, and then I bought a second piece, and then I bought a third piece. And I'm like, this real estate works when I don't work. I could be in Australia. I'm going to go to Australia and speak. I'm going to be there for a month. That real estate's going to spit. It will not know I'm gone. It does not know Grant changed locations, nothing. Just bang, bang, bang. I'm like, I need to repeat the real estate, repeat it. And the next thing you know, I go from 600 units to 800 units to 1,200 units to 6,000 units. And I'm like, wow, how much of this can I buy? Okay, who's got a bunch of real estate? Well, the big guys have 140,000 units. I'm like, man, could I go there? And then if I went there, why? Oh, wow, because I can't spend the money I have. But now I could start helping families. I could start helping not people where they live, but I could let people. I started learning the game of real estate, right? Well, the game of real estate is the best real estate in the world is owned by banks, insurance companies, and Wall Street companies. The middle class families in America don't own any of the good real estate. They own a house at best. And they're like, I love my house. I love my house. That's not the best real estate in America. That's what goes back to the bank. when the banks decide, hey, we're going to take it off. They've been doing this since the 1800s. The banks were taking ranches away in the 1800s. They'd lend you money. You couldn't make it because of the cattle, because there was some, so they would take the ranch back and get the money back. That's what happened in 2010. They took everything back. They redistribute the wealth. Blackstone ends up with everything. So what I'm doing with Cardone Capital now is you get bigger and bigger. You start saying, how much can I influence things? Oh, wow. And then I stumbled across, I'm going to build a 40 or 50,000 unit portfolio. And I'm not going to use Wells Fargo. I'm not going to use Blackstone. I'm not going to use Goldman. I'm not going to use the life insurance companies. I'm going to push them off to the side, and I'm going to go to my audience on Instagram and Facebook and give the people that actually need access to these deals. Then we're going to take the whole thing. I might be thinking too small at 40,000 units. Maybe I become the top one or two, and we give it to America rather than the banks. And then we as partners go to the bank and sell the whole thing to them.
So you feel like your motivations have changed as you've grown to new levels?
They mature. They mature. I can see more. I can see more possibility, right? I can see better because I did more.
So for a lot of these guys out there right now, you talked about basically
when you lost your 60 pounds, you weren't thinking about adding abs and having biceps when you were trying to lose weight. You're just like, I just want to lose weight. Exactly.
Then I lost weight and I thought, I need to bulk up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so you talked about, basically summed up in a quote, a wise man learns from his mistakes, but a wiser man learns from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
I think it's something it's almost accepting defeat and allowing yourself to fail and thinking this is an okay thing to do. I've had people come to me and say, Nicholas, I did what you said. I wanted to run in an event, and I did everything that you said, but I got half the amount of people there, but I learned from it. And I'm like, no, you should have been so scared to not fill up that event that you should have filled it up. Like it was totally doable.
Yeah.
And I feel that that if you teach yourself, and I want to hear your opinion on this, if you learn from failure, life knows that the only way you're going to learn and the only time you're going to get that beat in your head is through failure. I'm too scared. I'm like, every day I wake up and I go, I want to learn from success today. That's how I want to learn. Make me successful and open my eyes so I can keep being successful, not have to lose it all and build it back up. It's not a way to live.
I don't want to learn like that. It's just going to beat you up.
But how many people that follow you, that listen to you, are allowing themselves to live by that rhetoric of, failing's okay, I'm learning from my failure. It's okay to do it, but how does one graduate to now going, I'm not okay with me failing?
Quit listening to so many people. You guys out there, like, if you're going to follow Nicholas, like, you can't follow Nicholas and 17 other people and think that you're going to benefit from what he's telling you because somebody else tells you, oh, but I want to get, no one person's got it right. Yeah, but your people are eating from so many different plates. They don't know. I would rather one piece of bad data than 17 pieces of right data. I can do more with a bad piece of data if I'm confident in it than 17 right pieces. There's an old adage about what's worse than one great general. No. What's worse than one bad general? I'll get this right. Two great generals, because now you're not going to make a decision. It's the husband and the wife that must talk to each other before anybody makes a financial decision. Hold on, I can't do it right now. It's a great deal, by the way, but I got to go talk to somebody because we got an agreement because there's nobody in charge. And I was doing this interview. Y'all have that agreement? So I was doing this interview up the street, and this woman says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, when I bought the jet, I didn't call my wife and say, 'Hey, should I do this?' I called her up and said, 'I just bought a jet.'" And she's like, "Oh my God, what is it?" I told her. I sent her pictures. She's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I didn't call and check with her because I already had that agreement. Well, the woman that I told that to was like, "Oh my God, we would never be married." I said, "Well, that's a fact. We're not married. I'm already married." Okay? And you and your husband have the agreements you have. And the agreements you guys have is not to make decisions without talking to one another. As opposed to my wife and I already have the agreement before we make the decisions. And the agreements in my household is, look, man, if you think it's good for us, you freaking do it. And so if she's with the kids and she's making a decision about something to do with the household, she doesn't need to check with me. I trust that she is going to do the thing that will push us forward.
So then when things go wrong, how do you guys communicate through that? Maybe she makes a decision, And
I'm
she
like, hey,
backs into a
let's
tail.
correct that. Let's correct that. Like let's
Same
don't
thing
do
with
that
you,
again.
too.
Same thing with me. Hey, you did that. That didn't work. And yeah, it's already being by yourself. Just the complexity of one individual making decisions every day is so complicated. 60 trillion cells in one body, right? 60 trillion cells, all of them intelligent. There's none of them that are dumb. Tremendous intelligence going on in the body, right? That we don't even know anything about. Like their entire universes if you saw them under a microscope. Then there's add another person to it. Dude, we're going into freaking crazy land now. Because now we got 120 cells. And this is why when two people get together, there's so much okay. And then add the in-laws. Oh my God, man! Now it's wow. Then add the old ideas,
Yep.
and the same thing that's going on Instagram right now. People or Facebook or whatever, right? So people are getting data. They read your book, then they read Man Up book, and then they read this book, and then they read Max Out, and then they read 10X, and then they read Relentless, and then they're like, okay, it sounds all the same. Like people need to pick something. And say, this is my deal. Like when I study, guys, I study, I don't read 17 books. I'll read everything Warren Buffett. I'll read from the beginning to the end. And then I'll go back and read it again. So rather than reading 17 books, I'll read one Warren Buffett book 17 times.
Smart.
Until I understand what he was really saying when he wrote those words down. Because he might regret those words later. There's a chance what he wrote won't be right later. And so what did he really mean? He's not perfect either, right? So I'm trying to figure, but he's done good. So I could, if I understood the genius behind the genius and where he was in that process.
It's like the 10,000 kicks. I don't fear a man that knows 10,000 kicks with one kick.
You do
10,000
that. Yeah,
times.
that was Bruce Lee, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll call it Grant Cardone for now.
Yeah, no, but it's not. So.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And my wife as well. This is something that a lot of the guys deal with. They either want to have a relationship or they're currently married, have a family.
Yeah.
And the first time my wife and I invested in our education community, she wanted to swipe our credit card for $5,000. She was at a table just like this.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "No, you're so broke. You're not allowed to do this unless you call your husband." Because they're just not used to someone wanting to swipe that card. She called me. I'm not educated in the moment. I'm not feeling the emotions she's feeling. How can I make a good decision, even in your business? If you went to Elena every time, Elena, I just had this thing come across the table. It's $150 million.
Yeah.
The logical thing would be, well, don't spend $150 million. But she doesn't know what's going on in that deal. For the guys out there that maybe don't have a wife involved in the business, but every time they make a business decision that's big, they call their wife and say, "Hey, there's this investment. I want to invest with Cardone."
Yeah.
"Oh, honey, that's a lot of money." And he's like, "Oh, man, Grant, my wife isn't sure. She just doesn't know."
Yeah.
How would she know?
How would she?
So what advice would you give to those guys? How do they retake that position in the family?
You're not measuring you're not measuring Cardone Capitalist investment right now. And right now, you're getting tweaked about all the bad investments you have made, but more importantly, all the bad investments or the great investments that you didn't make. Oh, we bought a deal once and it didn't work out. Yeah, but I guarantee you, there's another 10 deals you should have done that you passed on. You see, people remember the wrong things. They remember the car wreck. They remember the one, somebody swiped my car. Yeah, but you drove to that same destination 1,000 times and never got hit. Why don't we remember those? Right? So you see, people just pay attention to what they did wrong as opposed to what you didn't do at all. And then when they look at the deals they did wrong, oh, I bought a stock once and it went down. Okay, well, good. You also bought a house that went nowhere. Why'd you buy that house? Why do you have equity in a house? Well, that's a good deal. Maybe who told you it's a good deal? Because the guys at the top of the food chain aren't buying houses.
So what's your mindset around this quote that's successful people should have more fear for missed opportunity than failure? A lot of people are so scared to pull the trigger because they're so scared to fail.
Yeah.
But they're missing. You just talked about they're missing opportunity after opportunity.
Look, we're trained to buy houses. We're trained to save for retirement. We're trained to leave cash in banks. I was doing 7,000 people in Atlanta the other day, and I said, "How many of you have money in the bank?" You know, 2/3 of the room, I have money in the bank. Well, why would you want money in the bank? You have more confidence in Wells Fargo than you do yourself. All that money should be invested in the enhancement of self. How many of you have money in equity in a home? You know, half the room. I have equity in a home. They're proud of it too. I'm like, why would you have equity in your home? That only benefited the banks. You borrowed money from a bank to live in one place that you call home and you're proud of and you like it, as opposed to like, wow, what if I had that equity? What if I had that money, that $80,000 invested in my business? How many have money in retirement accounts? Okay, probably 1/3 of the room had a retirement account of some sort. Why would you have money sitting in an account for when you're 70, 60, whatever the retirement age is, 63, when you could have that money working for you right now? So it's a way we've been programmed and trained too, right? To trust somebody else, that we can't trust ourselves. Diversify your stocks. Who was that for? Who did that benefit the most? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's not what the wealthiest people on this planet do. They put all their eggs in one basket. The richest people that have ever lived on this planet, one investment, and they watched it, and they made sure it worked. Railroads only, McDonald's only, right? They weren't in 700 different stocks. The creation of ETFs and mutual funds was for Wall Street, not Main Street. It was not for the middle class. It was on the backs of the middle class to make Wall Street rich, because nobody can figure out 700 different investments. Again, confusion of the masses. Hey, the ETFs is going to be the biggest redistribution of wealth in America will be the collapse of ETFs. There's trillions of dollars sitting in them right now, where masses of people have been tricked, hoodwinked by Wall Street to say, put all your money in right here in these mutual funds. My man's sick over there. He's like, fuck, 3 of them. He just hit the dam. I got cash in the banks. I got equity in the house, you know, and I got ETFs. Okay, it will be when the old man Bogle died, Vanguard, the founder of Vanguard. He says, when these get too big, they will fold. Too many people will try to exit at the same time. So all that goes back to what? It goes back to like how many different places you getting your data from. Warren Buffett does not diversify. Mark Zuckerberg did not diversify. Elon Musk, he's not a diversification guy. What was the first company he sold? Was it PayPal? Where did he make his first money?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was PayPal.
We can verify it. But.
Yeah. He gets a score, and what's he do? He invests a bunch of money in SpaceX, a bunch of money in Tesla, and then I think it was the tunnels. He didn't diversify, dude. These are 3 things he put all his money in, and then he rented where he lived. He doesn't even own a home when he does this. He's like, I don't want a house. I want my money working. I want to make an impact with cash.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too much for you guys out there, but man, there's a lot for you and your girlfriend to talk about.
Yeah.
She wants a house. So I just want a house, and I want to be happy, and we're going to have little babies, and we're going to put her at the Cardones live here. But who's coming to your house? Nobody's coming to your house. You know, so Damon John said, man, your jet's a terrible investment. I said, my jet is a better investment than your house, because my jet will take me places, and your house goes nowhere. Okay? Nowhere. Well, it's going to go up in value. Wrongo, Damon Jono, Shark Tanko. Okay, wrong. Okay, you pay 6%. The seller paid 6% to the broker to buy the house. I'd love to see what you guys think about this. When you go to sell the house, there's another 6 points. He's like, well, I didn't pay the 6 points when I bought it. I said, well, it came out of the proceeds of the house. You paid for it. Okay. When you sell the house, it's another 6. That's 12%. You got to make 12% on your house just to keep up with the brokers. Okay, you live in New York. It's 2.6% per year for property taxes. You live there 20 years, that's 52%. So you got 6, that's 12, plus 56. You have to make 68% to break even with brokers and the property taxes. You hadn't mowed the lawn, you hadn't painted the place, you hadn't fixed the place, and you hadn't made a payment yet. Interest rate on a home today is about 4.5% to 5%. So 5% for 20 years, that's 100%. Who made all the money in this deal? The brokers, property taxes, and the bank. You'd have to make like 168% on your money to break even on the house.
So what about some of the entrepreneurs that are like, it feels so good not to have the risk of payments. So I'm going to go buy my house, pay for it outright,
Yeah.
and that way that I just don't have a lot of risk.
Then you're not an entrepreneur. You're a homeowner. Let's get a T-shirt and say, "Hey, fucking entrepreneur, scratch it out." Homeowner.
Well, Russell Brunson did that.
Fucking
He's like,
stupid.
I want low.
I don't care. Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Russell, stupid. I know more about money than Russell does. Okay. Russell might know about funnels. Stupid. Dumb. Ridiculous. I got 5 kids. So what? Go rent a big ass penthouse somewhere. Okay. Let your kids tear the place up. Rent it every 10 to 12 months. Leave it. The landlord doesn't treat you right. Walk away. I live on the ocean in Miami. The other morning, some storm comes in. I rent there. There's 30 people that live in this building. And I drive up, drop my cars off. They park them. I hit 33, go straight to the top. I don't worry about anything. Something goes out. Hey, fix it. Hey, you hadn't fixed it yet. That's the most I get involved with this property. I wake up one morning. I go work out. There's a gym in the property. Trainer meets me there. I do the workout. I look outside. There's furniture from the pool is all in the pool. Okay. I go out there. I Instagram it. Somebody's got to clean this up, but it's not going to be me. Now, if that was my place and it was torn up and I had to worry about it, I had to fix it, it would take energy from me that day. Okay. So Russell, what Russell's doing, Russell, I hope you're watching this. What the entrepreneur's doing by taking money out of his business and buying his house, he's trying to reduce his risk because he actually does not have certainty about the future. He's planning for something to happen bad. And if you plan for something to happen bad, it will happen. So what I'm doing is I'm basically like, I don't want to own a home. What I want to do is I want to own lots of real estate or anything that produces cash flow without me having to touch on it. Right? Like, so because Russell's got a business that produces a lot of cash, but he's got to push on it for it to produce cash. And I have businesses that produce a lot of cash, but I want the cash that comes from those businesses to go into apartment buildings where I don't have to push. It doesn't matter if I'm dead or alive. They'll still provide income that I can live off of. And when my businesses fail, at some point all businesses fail. When my main businesses fail or end or terminate or whatever, that income will continue to pay me. So if I died today, the thing that people should be asking, like let's say you're married and one of you died today, would you sell the house?
Well, we don't own our house, so
yeah,
I'm doing the right thing.
Would you move?
Would you move if I died? Probably not.
You'd stay where you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I died today, Elena would probably, she'd wait for the lease to end, boom, blow out.
Yeah.
There's no reason for her to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say the kids are going to leave. They're 10 and 8. They're going to leave here in about probably 6 or 7 years. As soon as they can, they're going to leave. 8 years. We don't need to be there anymore. Okay. So the kids leave. I die. She's dumping it. Means it's not an asset. It's a liability. Right. Now, would she sell my real estate, the apartments? I die. She's not selling any of that stuff. Nah. She'll sell the plane. She won't need it. She won't be traveling like that. So what is an asset? What is a liability? Again, where do we get our data from? And the entrepreneur, by definition, entrepreneur defined by the dictionary. Most entrepreneurs haven't even looked up. They're like, I'm an entrepreneur. You don't even know what it means. Right? So it means a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. Not less risk. That means if you're an entrepreneur, you're not spending money on marketing, branding, influence, collaboration, like what you're doing today. You got to spend a lot of time, energy, and money just coming to do this podcast. You're taking financial risk. Financial risk is not just money. It's also time and money.
So how many times do you hear entrepreneurs talk about planning to fail? I want to unveil this because if you
they're saving money. I'm like, dude, what are you doing with money in the bank? Why are you playing it safe? Oh, because my parents, because the parents are saving money, right? So, like, I grew up in that environment where save your money, save for a rainy day. A penny saved is a penny saved or earned, right?
Yeah.
So everything was about saving, buy a house. All that influenced me so that when I was doing business, from 29 to 45, all I did was save my money. All that money should have been reinvested in the business all those years. It was one of the biggest business mistakes I made was saving money, pulling money off the table. I had a retirement account when I was 26 years old. Completely insane, man. I bought life insurance when I was 19 because my dad bought life insurance. But what do I need life insurance at 19 years old for, dude?
Yeah.
Right? What do I need a house for? I bought my first house I bought. I'm talking from experience of mistakes, right?
Yeah.
I bought a house when I was 28 years old. What do I need a house for at 28? I need to be out calling on people at 28. I need to be hustling at 9 o'clock at night, not settling down to watch TV. But buying a house is the American dream. Millions. There's 5 million homes in America underwater today.
You're making me look at America as like one big business trying to win and trying to convince everyone
totally.
to do what they want them to do so they can win.
America is basically a bunch of banks selling to one clientele, the middle class. Anybody that makes between about 30 grand a year and probably 400 grand, maybe even more. Like the middle class is massive. Okay, it's the biggest problem in America is the middle class. It's not poverty. It's the middle that can't get ahead. And it's going to become more and more of a problem. So you hear the politicians talk about a minimum wage. You know, the guy that's being paid $8 an hour. That's not really the problem in this country. It's the guy being paid $58,000 a year because there's no money left over. But all the laws are made by the banks and Wall Street. So everything, all the messaging we get, you know. But the millennials, you guys are going to change the whole game because you're not buying the bullshit anymore. You've seen your parents stuck, unable to move.
Yeah.
You know, you're the last. You guys don't even want a house.
Nah, no one even thinks about it.
And then there's people my age that are starting to say, wait a minute, I owned a house. That wasn't such a great deal for us. I mean, I'm just stuck in it. They don't even want the house anymore. They're bored with their own house. They're like, I just want to travel. So for the first time, you have like 150 million people, 80 million baby boomers, and 75 million millennials all saying, the last thing I want is a house. I want to travel. I want adventure. I want to learn stuff. And so that's going to disrupt the system. So we have massive disruption in automobiles, housing. It's going to create tremendous opportunity for all the guys that are following you.
I appreciate you sharing that as well.
Yeah.
Because we want to follow by someone's direction. I feel that one of the ways that we can not learn from failures is to learn from people like yourself, which is why I like doing the interviews, why I like hanging out and bringing this content to people that's not the BS for the people to get stuff that's actually real.
And the entrepreneur, you'll be much more creative when you have passive income coming. Like the thing that really freed up my creative juices was knowing when I wake up in the morning, I have income coming from other sources. It gives me courage.
Leverage, too.
Dude, it gives me courage. Like I can take a risk. I can spend more money in advertising because I got this stream over here.
Yeah.
You know, like Jay-Z is so bold right now because him and Beyonce don't have to go do the concert anymore. He doesn't have to be the prostitute, right? So you don't have to go sell your services anymore. He's got these other streams coming in. He's got this other talent. He's got these other businesses that are providing flows. So it's a lot easier to be courageous when you're not dependent upon one flow.
So you have Be Obsessed or Be Average, 10X, and all of it's kind of like different angles to say the same thing, which is going all in. And a lot of people, they want to put in the least amount of effort for the most amount of result going in, and it always takes more than what they thought. And this is just what I'm seeing even from our guys is they go, oh, Nicholas, I want to do this. And I'm like, no, like just do more than that. Like be okay with doing a lot more. And you actually inspired one of my mentors, Navy SEAL, retired Navy SEAL, one of the baddest ass dudes I know, most disciplined, and you listen to your entire book, Be Obsessed or Be Average.
Who's that?
Yost Jansen.
Okay.
He works with on all the Hollywood sets and on Iron Man, 13 Hours, all that stuff. He actually shot with your wife, actually.
Oh, okay.
At some of the ranges. He trains like all the people how to do everything with the guns. I'm butchering it, but that's what he does. And one of the big things is that you're also fit. And a lot of our guys right now, they go chase money and they chase building their business. And they get overweight and they get out of shape and they start getting lazy. And then they go, oh man, I need to get back in shape. So they get back in shape, and then their business starts kind of failing.
Because they spend 2 and 3 hours in the gym.
Yeah, we're saying, and I heard you talk about that. Don't spend so much time. Be effective. And inside this book, I'm like, I want to teach these guys how to have it all. You have it with your wife, your kids, and you've set boundaries. You've done it with your health, and then you go and crush. How can these guys start doing this right now in their life to be three-dimensional, to have the correct amount? Because you know that your family and your health right now is contributing to your success.
Yeah, totally.
And these guys they're blinded, right? Like you said at the beginning. They're seeing like right here.
You need money, man. Like to have life balance, you got to have money. Like,
yeah.
This is the taboo thing to say. It's never going to be on TV. Nobody likes. You got to have money. Nobody ever says this.
Yeah.
Oh, I do this. I do that. I have blah. Dude, you got to have money. You can't. You know what do I mean by that? Like, okay, well, like create the life you want.
Yeah.
Quit saving money. You know, quit buying watches and H belts. Like, I don't have an Hermes belt. Like, I didn't even know how to pronounce Hermes. I'm like, well, who would spend $700-800 on a belt? Like, I could buy $3,000 worth of real estate with a $700 belt, right? And who am I trying to impress anyway? What I need a trainer to come to me. So you buy your Hermes belt, I'm gonna buy a trainer to come to me. I don't want to go to him. Okay, time is money. It's not money is time. It's time is money. So why am I going to get in a car and drive to the trainer? Here, I'll give you another $200. You come to me. Okay, you come to me. I walk down there. I do my workout. Boom, I'm done. While he's still driving 40 minutes, and I'm already taking a shower and doing a business deal. So you got to figure out the things in your life. You know, when I went from okay, I'm never going to work for below my pay grade anymore. Like, this was a big shift for me. Like, I like gardening. I like landscape stuff, right? When I got rid of a yard, I was like, that probably made me $10 million. I loved it. I spent too much time doing it. It was costing me money. It was below my pay grade. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, oh, because it's therapeutic. Well, good, man. Like not 2 hours of it. Therapeutics costing you millions of dollars because you're out there playing with stuff. That made me feel good and everything, but there's got to be a faster, better way to do that, to get that sensation.
So how did you switch that? What are your hobbies now?
Everything. What I did was I took everything below my pay grade. Everything below my pay grade. It's like, okay, the kids are going to school. We're driving the kids 40 minutes to school. I'm like, why am I bringing my kids to this dumbass school? School's beautiful. I'm like, look at the money it took to build this school. I can see when we're driving. It's a private school. My kids are 6 and 8 at the time. I'm paying $25,000 a pop. I'm paying $50,000 a year to send my kids to school, and I don't know if they're learning anything. Like, I have no clue what they're learning. Probably a bunch of voodoo. And so we drive over there. I'm like, why am I driving them there on the way back? So I'm like, hey, why don't I just homeschool the kids? They can roll with me. My dad died when I was 10. I didn't get any time with my dad. None, zero. Like, I never knew him because he was going to work every day trying to take care of the family. Yep. Because they were doing stuff below their pay grade. On the weekends, he's mowing the lawn. That was below his pay grade. He went from stockbroker earning $80,000 a year to a guy earning $2 an hour. Like, what are you doing that for? Dude, you could have been spending the time with me. Instead, he's riding his little snapper mower. Because that's how he thought, right? Wow. He was washing his car rather than having somebody else wash it. Anything below your pay grade. Not that you like, I do stuff every day that I don't want to do.
Yep.
Like, I'll make a phone call. Is it below my pay grade? Maybe, but I can get the deal done. Right? So will Tom Brady run the ball in? Not his job, but if he can get those bad legs, not fast, isn't going to look good, but dude, it'll get us 6 points, he will run the ball in. So I'm willing to do the stuff that's not in my immediate area, but I'm not going to do something anymore that going to the grocery store. I actually like going to the grocery store, but it's kind of below my pay grade.
Yeah.
Hey, send somebody over there. Now we can just call it in, right?
Yeah.
So I can have somebody else do the cooking. So make a list of things that you can do that keep you in entrepreneur mode all the time, keep you on the goal.
Yeah.
You know, and say, hey, get rid of all the stuff that's a way for you to avoid the definition of an entrepreneur, which is manage a business or businesses and taking on more financial risk than normal in order to grow something.
So with the being obsessed part, that's what I feel that is, I'm not that talented. We've been able to fill our own live events, fill our own programs. And I see guys out there that have a better transformation than me. They're better than I am at communicating. They have better material than what I have starting out. I know a guy right now lost 150 pounds, and I'm like, please just do the stuff to get the message out there and
Yeah.
sell the product.
Yeah.
How do you instill, or what's something that we could do to shift a mindset here to tell them what it's going to take, the obsession that they're going to need?
Yeah. You need to tell people the truth. Like, people should be terrified.
Yeah.
Every day, I wake up every day. Okay, the economy is getting ready to fall apart.
Yeah.
The world's going to come to. 2010 will never
so you
happen.
allow like fear and stuff to motivate you.
No. I basically mock up possibilities.
Yeah.
Like true scenarios that could happen that would threaten me, my goals, my dreams, my life. I told Elena the other night, I said, look, I need you to get, there's a little bracelet online that's got, it's got your family, it's got a black band, it's got your family members' names on it. I said, I need one with 4. And she's like, well, who's the 4th one? I said, your name, Scarlett, Sabrina, and my dreams. And so every day my dreams and my family are at threat. And so I'm mocking up threats in the environment, the economy, okay, Trump, the Democrats, who knows, dude, like Bernie gets elected, shit. These whack jobs, like Trump stays in, like who knows? Like it's all up for
You
grabs.
like any of them? Bernie,
It's all crazy. Like it's all crazy right
Yeah.
now. Okay, we got an economy that's like, you got a stock market that's at 27 or 28,000. Like people invested in it like it's going to double again. Like really? We've been 10 or 12 years or 11 years, I guess, since the last economic contraction. The next one's going to be brutal. We have $22 trillion worth of debt. This is what I do to myself every day. Everybody's running around like you got guys your age driving 2 Rolls. I just finished an interview with a guy's got fucking 2 Ferraris and a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah. Common.
Huh?
It's common.
Oh, yeah. Kids 30 years old, 25 years old, flying private. You know, paying $30,000 to fly private. I'm like, this is insanity, dude.
Yep.
So, you know, everybody knows it's insane, but nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's talking about it. You got people that likes are more important than money. Can't take it. You got guys online that can't take care of their girl, but they take care of every Instagram comment.
Yeah.
So I would scare your audience, dude. Hey guys, the modern day businessman, business. What kind of business? Failing business, break even business. 64% of businesses in America break even or lose money.
Yep.
That means 64% of the people made a decision to go into business and it's not working. You know, so some of that is like, hey, should you even be running a business or should you be working for somebody else? You know, like maybe you could actually go further with someone else.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You have some of that inside of your company. People that would be phenomenal. They're dominant people.
I got guys that will make 100x more than somebody that'll work for themselves. I got guys that work. I got one guy that worked for me. He'll be worth tens of millions of dollars that he would never ever become worth on his own by himself.
Last question though. For my wife and I, God has been like a big thing that has driven our business. The reason we got into business is because of him. And I was like praying and nothing happened. And I thought God hates me or something. And then I realized I needed to build a skill set. And then I built a skill set. Now there's like a partnership. For you, there's so many like rumors that go around that are like, what does Grant Cardone believe, right?
Yeah.
Anyone successful is either an Illuminati or they pray to the devil or it's like crazy, right? So what's been the influence for you and for my guys as well?
Thank you. The spirituality is the number one most important thing to me in my life. Like before my wife and my kids is my understanding of God.
Yeah.
And my dreams come from that connection and that understanding. And my dreams and my goals are not really financial. It's potential. So when I talk about, you know, people ask me, probably the most painful question I get is, when is enough? And I'm like, man, you guys ought to check in with God on that.
Yeah. Right?
Because my potential is what I'm going after. It's not some number. I got a guy asking me about my net worth. I'm like, dude, it's a stupid question. It's an ego. It's an ego thing, right? What I'm interested in is my potential, possibility, discovery, and for me, that potential is the thing that strings me and God, and that potential is my dreams. It's like what could I do? What's possible? And the other thing is about the blessing. You know, you hear people. I was in Atlanta. I'm like, man, I'm blessed, and everybody's like, oh yeah, praise the Lord. I'm like, yeah, everybody's blessed. Everybody's blessed. I've never met somebody that's not blessed. Most people are not proving it though. They're blessed and not validating God every day.
Wow.
So I have a very, very powerful, very strong, and very clear understanding of my relationship with God, and it is first and foremost with me. Other people won't understand it, right? But I every day, every deal, undoing a deal, like I've undone deals. Hey guys, this deal is no longer good for me, and that was me at my highest ethical. What do you mean? You got a deal? We got a deal. You signed a contract. That's right. And now we're going to undo this deal. And I'm going to undo it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to figure it out. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Hey, this deal's not good for me. And if it's not good for me, it's not good for my family. It's not good for my future. It's not good for my ability to give to charities. It's not good for you either. So rather than me just walking away, why don't we just rework the deal so that we're both happy and everybody wins? Very difficult thing to do.
But you allow that
because
to be your
another person,
driver.
because another person might be bound by that agreement. They're like, no, we have a deal. I have to do what I said I'm going to do because they're bound by some rule that they made some agreement. Hey, if that agreement's no longer good for you, no God would want you to continue. What you'd want to do is communicate, which is harder to do.
Yeah.
You know, so the ability for my wife and I to communicate about anything, even if it's tough and it's, believing in God is more than just believing in God. It takes courage to go out every day and validate it.
Because if you actually believe, you have to do.
And you ought to do well too. And
Yeah.
if you have to me in my mind, like, if I have a good, really strong, good working relationship with God, I would be successful at everything, physically, in my marriage, in business, with my customers, online. I would have good reviews, not bad reviews.
Yeah.
Like, you ought to have the whole package. I don't think God had a partial package. I think it was probably the whole deal. And the other thing is the work thing. Like, I see a lot of people that believe in God that don't work. They're like, oh yeah, but they're taking 2 and 3 days off. God don't even take that much time off. He takes 1 day off.
Yeah.
And look what he did before he took the day off.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you got it, brother.
And everyone watching as well, make sure to follow Grant. I actually saw someone invest thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars for 15 minutes just to have a video call with you. And you got the insight on this. So what I would love for you to do is you just got this for free. Go and buy everything this guy has. A lot of times you could buy the whole package. You buy every single book, every single thing. Consume, go all in on what he's doing, or else I wouldn't have brought you in on the show. This is a good guy to follow, a good guy to listen to, and I appreciate you being here.
Come on, man.